I'm Christian Chetwood, the producer of The Boy, and I am going to answer the following question. In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? The main conventions of a short film are simple but effective, using a small cast, few locations and little dialogue, combining with storytelling through a wide range of camera shots to show change in narrative. The first convention used to make a Hollywood film is continuity editing. Continuity is the most important, as without it, each scene in the film would jump and possibly seem confusing to the audience, with props in the wrong position, and so the story would not be put across in the right way. In the very first scene of our film, we undertook this convention both in production and editing, illustrating the boy getting ready and leaving the house. This was done as each camera shot taken showed the same actions being repeated until the actor left the frame, and a script supervisor was put in place to make sure that all props objects were in the right place that they were supposed to be. However, to create an air of suspense when editing the shots together, we created a montage to bring in fast pace and to make the actions of the boy seem suspicious to the audience, as he was putting cans of spray paint inside his bag. The cast that we have selected are a trio of Liam Fryer, Josh Fyvie and Nikki Hart. As a group, they successfully portray the stereotype of how the young generation is perceived today. The cast help to tell the story, as when Josh and Nikki are introduced, they are waiting for the boy in an undercover car park, suggesting that they are intimidating figures leading him astray. This is also supported as a hand of encouragement is tapped on the boy's back. To develop our use of real media convention in the production, we also followed the use of little dialogue and locations. We did this by deciding to break the film up into 6 different scenes and keeping it simple to understand by selecting 3 main locations. These are built up of a director's house, the home of the boy, Westminster Street Park and undercover car park in Crewe. All of these locations provide natural atmosphere and background noise, adding to the effectiveness of diegetic sound, particularly of the traffic in the streets and the echo caused by the undercover car park. To add to this, the location contributed to representation, as the park and car park were both quite run down and dirty, going hand in hand with the urban theme of the film. In terms of dialogue, our script was very short with only 3 lines spoken, and in doing this, it helped to keep our film short. Long areas of speech in the film would mean that more time was taken up from the storytelling, and as a result of doing this, kept our film within the 5-minute boundary and made it easy to follow. We were careful to choose the wording of these lines to match the representation that we were portraying, making them typical of the terms that young people are seen to use today. For example, using the terms like man in the park scene when the boys realise that there isn't any beer left, and 5-0 as a slang term for the police when the boys are being chased. Within the scene of graffiti, the true narrative of the film is exposed, as a rush of action is introduced. To implement this, we exercised the conventions of camera use and editing to create the effect that we wanted. For example, we utilised handheld camera shots with montage and fast-paced editing to give a sense of panic and chaos as the boys are trying to escape from the police, making the audience feel like they are within the action. These types of editing and camera shots are very characteristic of action films. Another product that we created was a radio trailer and a magazine review. Both of these media show what the film is about, the age rating, who it was produced by, and the cast. However, magazine reviews mainly show the writer's point of view, and instead of persuading you to watch it, explain why you should or should not. On the other hand, a radio trailer is produced by a film company, giving an insight to the target audience to tease them into watching the film. The conventions of a radio trailer are very simple, spoken from a script based around sound clips from the film. To tease the audience, we started our trailer with the opening music heard in the first scene of the film, which is quite mysterious and creates tension, drawing the audience in. We then offered sound clips from action-packed scenes of the film, as when the boys are being chased by the police. This contains both the sound of the police car sirens and the fast-paced guitar music, making the target audience wonder why there are police involved and produces excitement.
Do you know what your kids get up to when you turn out the lights?
Nikki, watch out!
starring Academy Award winner Liam Fryer as the boy.
No way, man. Oh, what? You're joking, aren't you, man?
Empire magazine calls it the new Bullet Boy.
You know what? Go on, let's go, boys.
Sound clips give an insight to what the story could be about. We added sound effects from Freesounds. These non-diegetic sounds were also chosen to represent how young people are seen today, with broken bottle and sounds from a party being used, adding to the action genre and once again drawing in the target audience. Between all of these things, we recorded questions and facts about the film as a voiceover that was spoken in a Cockney accent to give an urban and youthful feel and represents the gang culture. As a magazine review can be both virtual and handheld, the conventions are mostly based around presentation. Large images and bold fonts are used along with neatly presented boxes full of cast and production information. We implemented this by basing our review on a magazine article from the Empire magazine. Our first step was to apply a large image showing a screenshot of the boys splitting up as they ran away from the police. Already this gives a sense of the film genre and that it is full of action. We follow this by adding a title and funny annotation under the image and place production, cast and storyline information within the box. This provides basic information to inform the audience about the film. To aid with presentation, magazines such as Empire keep the review within columns and also separate sections using a border, such as dots. This kept the review separate from the information about the film and the star rating. In terms of fonts, we decided to use New Times Roman as we believe that magazine review should be formal and not be distracting or elaborate. New Times Roman was used for both the article itself and the production information, but these were made different to distinguish that the production information is separate from the rest of the article. The difference between the two was we used New Times Roman in italic and the production information. For the heading that we used within the magazine review, we once again used New Times Roman, but for the title made it bold and white to stand out to the audience, lifting from the dark background of the film image behind it so it became more visible. We also did this for the caption below the image for the same reason, but made the font smaller as we didn't want it to distract from the image and the title of the film. To bring colour to review, we decided to use purple on the heading in the product information, verdict and page title saying in cinemas. Purple is very vibrant and bright, and not only does it match the colours already present on the magazine review, but it is very attractive, bringing your attention to different sections.